Hey guys, a common question that clients ask me a lot is how do you keep a positive mindset when things are grim? How do you find the silver lining when things are so tough and seem so dark overhead? Well, it's not just about being positive. You need to be optimistic as well. See, an optimistic mindset gives you hope that there's light at the end of the tunnel, that there is an end to the tunnel, that the future is still bright. The effects of COVID-19 on businesses in Australia has been pretty massive and pretty widely talked about. We know that small businesses in particular are really suffering. Some of them up to 37% and more in profit loss. Many are cutting their staff back. I think over 30% of businesses are having to prune staff. So their cause for optimism at the moment is a lot less than it was pre-COVID-19. And governments are giving stimulus packages trying to help these businesses stay afloat, which is fantastic, but there's much more that we can still do. So in line with that, I'm on the mainland at the moment working with a number of small businesses in regional areas, helping them develop their mental fortitude to be able to cope with what's happening at the moment. Because like everything in life, business or personal, there's often times where we can't control the circumstances, we can't control what's happening, all we can do is respond to it. So being optimistic is a strategy we can take to help in that response. And whilst I'm helping these businesses do that, it's giving them then the opportunity to think about how are they going to respond. Well, we could be more inventive, we could be more creative, we could redefine ourselves. We could really adapt to these circumstances to maybe find different and new, maybe even exciting ways to do our business. And history is littered with examples of businesses who have had a lot of challenges thrown at them, and it's because of those challenges they've then found new ways and their businesses has gone bonkers after that. And how fantastic it was and how they're so appreciative of what at the time seemed like a pretty bad thing, but worked out to be the best thing that ever happened to them. And it's because that they decided to have an optimistic mindset, a solution-based mindset, as opposed to focusing on the problems that got them through that. They had something that they were going to look forward to, a vision for the future that they were then going to focus on. And we can do this in our personal lives as well. When things get tough, if we just focus and dwell on that negative thing, that the problem itself, it's really unproductive. Where if we decide to focus on what's actually ahead and how we're going to get there, then it means we can't then focus on that negative at the same time. The brain just can't do it. It's not possible. So being able to be optimistic gives us that ray of hope. By all means accept that things are bad. If things are bad, say they're bad. If things are tough, say they're tough. Admit it, embrace it, but don't focus on it. Perhaps focus on how you can get out of that. Focus on your prospects, not so much the facts. An example of this is Tony Robbins uses it when he says, positive mindsets are great, but if you go out in your garden, you look and there's all these weeds, you stand there and you go, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, and you open your eyes again, there's still going to be weeds there, right? Optimism is about, look at my garden, there's lots of weeds, but if I work hard here, if I can find a strategy to stop these weeds with weed mat or pulling them out or weed killer or whatever it is, I can actually have a garden that doesn't then have weeds. So the positive mindset's good, but it doesn't do it on its own. You need some optimism, because optimism then gives you that energy to take action and do something about it. To work out who you want to be, how you're going to be that person, what you're going to experience. So find your optimism, because optimism is not just a mindset, optimism is a behaviour. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next week. See you guys. Bye.